How early can you start treatment for hypermobility? Now, when we're talking about children, and I do see kids, I see kids up down to about age 4. I don't tend to see kids younger than 4 because younger than 4, there's kind of a different set of rules and things that pediatric specialists are really better at serving those younger kids. But for most hypermobility, after age 4 or 5, it's good for them to follow up, to start learning the ways to take care of themselves. I would have loved when I was a kid and having headaches and foot pain and knee pain to have been able to understand what to do and what not to do. And this wasn't really as much of a thing then, but now we understand it much better. So what you want to look at if you have kids and you think are hypermobile or have been diagnosed hypermobile is pain complaints. A lot of times it gets rolled into growing pains, and sometimes it is growing pains. But if you know that they're hypermobile, you want to look at that a little more critically. Difficulty running, feeling like they're kind of clumsy, they fall, they don't look as smooth as the other kids. Things like that. And kids actually do really well. It doesn't take a lot of visits and intensive training for most kids. But they can do really well with learning how to change sleeping position, change sitting position, no more W sitting. If your kids W sit, which is that sitting with your feet behind you, you want to change that around. That's really hard on hips. You don't want to let them do that. Looking at walking and running form, and kids can totally change their running form. It's a matter of simple cues. Keep your toes going forward. A lot of times they'll tend to turn their feet in or roll in on their feet, and so just giving them the cues to keep those toes going forward and to keep their knees apart. They'll tend to drop those knees in also. That tends to be really helpful for them. And making sure that they understand good posture and how to use the correct muscles. Because you can start with those little things, and then over time, kids do really well with building on them, and they don't develop the bad patterns as easily, and they feel better. So if they can run faster, they're happy. With adults, when you start hypermobility is anytime. If you have the diagnosis, then you really want to get in and just get assessed. What is your strength? What is your posture? What are your mechanics? And if everything looks good, then great, you want to take that and just keep working with it. But if you're using bad mechanics to walk, more of that is just going to deteriorate over time. And so those are the things that a lot of times prevention has a much bigger effect than waiting until nothing is working and then trying to go back and correct that.